What do you think is more dangerous, cave diving or skydiving? Yeah, you're probably right. It is cave diving. How about cave diving versus driving a car? It's definitely driving a car, but part of that is because not a lot of people go cave diving. Turns out people are terrible at understanding probability and even worse at understanding if something is a lie, and we'll talk about it. We all know that humans are pretty terrible at assessing risk, and we tend to overinflate the risks of some things and really downplay the risks of others. For example, eating a hot dog. Actually pretty darn dangerous, particularly so if you are a child. It's just the perfect size and shape to get lodged in an airway. People who do competitive eating contests also generally have somebody around because hot dog eating is particularly dangerous. Now you know. We have to live with these things every day, but there's not things that we actually have to do every day like skydiving or cave diving or cliff diving. A lot of dangerous sports have diving in them. On to our stats. I ran the numbers so you don't have to. If you live in the US, your probability of eventually expiring in a car accident is 1 in 107, which seems alarmingly high. Your probability of expiring in a skydiving accident is roughly 1 in 100,000, but those are not exactly the same since most of us don't go skydiving. If you were to skydive 5 times a week for roughly 60 years, your probability of eventually expiring would be around 16%. You can run the simple math on that. Technically, you're supposed to use log, but I've never liked statistics. And just so you know, 1 in 3,000 is the probability of expiring if you go cave diving. I was invited to go cave diving once. It was for the Explorers Club. It was going to be cave exploration in the United Arab Emirates. I said no. I have my diving certification. I have my deep water certification. I have my open water certification. I do not have any kind of training for cave diving, nor will I ever because I want to expire above ground. Now, on to lying. Turns out your brain is actually really bad at detecting lies, but that is true only if you get a benefit from it. So if somebody says, hey, this is a really great investment, you're going to want to believe them. If there is no benefit to you, you're much less likely to believe it. Now, if there's a great risk involved and the person who is potentially lying to you has actually expressed that yes, there is a great risk, you're more likely to overinflate that risk. Like cave diving, for example, although I think that one is reasonable. Now, one of the ones I found really fascinating is that you are unlikely to be able to successfully detect that your romantic partner is lying to you. You might expect that, hey, you spent a lot of time with this person. Maybe you know them really, really well. Clearly, you would know if they're lying. Nope, your brain fools you. Now, we're not entirely sure why that is. Maybe it's trust, or maybe it's that you have a lot to lose if you don't believe this person. Of course, we do know that people are really bad at actually assessing risks, but this might just be a case of what people want to believe. I do also want to tell you that if you were to go cave diving as often as we drive, your probability of expiring is nearly 100% for lifetime risk. I also may have lied. Now that I really think about it, I might go, but, not super deep. It does sound like fun. Just, you gotta be safe about it and extremely well trained. So what do you think? Would you take part in any of these activities?